up, you guys? It's Mary.
And Alma.
We invite you guys to like,
subscribe,
share,
and comment
down below, you all, because today we are going to be talking about the new audio that has leaked, you guys. We got this from
Nick at Night,
Yes,
Nique at Night NITE, and this is the leak from. What is it?
I think her
Tory's
Lanez confession. Well, seemingly confession to Kelsey.
Tory Lanez phone call from the jail to Kelsey.
Yes.
After this incident.
And we also did video yesterday, and we were reviewing Megan Kunis, who actually gave a full recap of the trial.
Yes.
And remember, you guys, we were talking about how she actually was like, "Ooh," when she heard the phone call, and she's like, "Why are you even here? Why did you accept the plea deal?" So we finally have the evidence. And I just want to say this, you guys. To all you Tory Lanez fans who think that this man did not shoot this woman, he has y'all out here looking like bald-headed scallywags. Please pick your jaw up off the floor, pick your dignity, whatever's left of it, and please go walk away. Go to whatever hole you came from.
Oh, you know what
Thank you.
You can say something like, y'all
embarrassed
I am waiting for all the evidence before I give my opinion. Because at this point, because I've been there too, when, you're going for a bat for somebody, and then only to come find some jinky stuff, and you're like, damn, and so, you just have to come out of that point.
I know y'all embarrassed. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to admit that you're wrong.
I am holding my opinion until I get all the other evidence, okay?
That's hilarious.
And so thank you to Nick at Night, and let me just say what he was saying. So he calls Kelsey, and he says...
He was calling her the N-word and bro this and bro that.
He's like, my
N-word,
I was so effing drunk.
Like, you're a whole woman, and he's calling you the N-word and calling you bro.
But that don't make my actions right, okay? I was so effing drunk, but that don't make my actions right. What actions?
What actions? Shooting another black woman.
And then he asked, where is Megan? And she said, Megan is at the hospital. I'm outside of the hospital. He asked, what hospital is she at? She gives it to him. I didn't quite hear what hospital it was. And then he says, I never done no shit like that. That's not going to make my actions right, I had 5 shots at the door. Now he blaming Kylie. Now you're blaming alcohol. Like, this man does not take accountability for nothing.
Just like his damn daddy.
And then he talks about the only thing that's going to get this backlash is me, not her. Why would you be getting backlash?
Why would you be getting backlash?
You know what I'm saying?
Why?
And then he said, I just want to say sorry. I never would have done that shit like that if I wasn't past drunk. You feel me? You feel me, bro? And he tells her to contact his security to get bail, so he can get his bail. And she was like, okay, she was going to do that. And even, I could tell that even when she was talking to him.
Why would he also offer Kelsey to pay her bail? Why would he offer that to Kelsey?
If he wasn't the one who was himself. Because he was the one who was in jail. She wasn't in jail.
Oh, okay.
Right, but he wanted her to call his security person. He said, do you have the number to my security? And she said yes. And he said, well, could you call them so I can make bail? He's like, I don't know if I'm going to be out here today or tomorrow. And he was like, but I know I'm going to get this backlash. She's not going to get the backlash. Megan's not going to get the backlash, but he was going to get the backlash.
After that, he sat down to himself. He called his publicist and said, let's flip it on Megan. Because, I'm actually going to get the backlash. That's why he said, let me go on this little media campaign and slaughter her name.
Like, you have this whole phone call out there, Tory. It's the arrogance.
And it was recorded.
It is the arrogance. You have this stuff out there. You call this girl. All prison phone calls are recorded.
Who doesn't know that?
Like, all prison phone calls are recorded. Okay? And you have this out there. You had 2. This is what the judge is going to look at when he goes to sentence. That's why I don't think he's going to get less than 10 years.
Yeah, no.
You had 2.5 years.
To make it right.
Even the phone call, you're still blaming the alcohol. But then you said, I'm sorry, though. I've never done no shit like this before. What shit? You were so effing drunk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry. I just want to say I'm sorry. I never would have done that shit like that if I wasn't past drunk. You feel me? It cannot be that about some, I told you that I'm having sex with Megan. And I never should have done that shit like that. You would not even call her from jail for that, something like that. The only time you will call her for something like that would be like, babe, yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it?
And my thing is also, men gossip more than women. So, I mean, why would he say he never did no shit like that before? I'm sure men have ran their mouth about who they slept with and who they haven't slept with many, many times. So, please.
Yeah, I mean, that was a confession if I've never heard one.
That's why Megan couldn't have said, why do you just take the plea deal? Like, what are you doing here? Like, even she was laughing.
I don't know if I don't know if he was offered a plea deal.
I mean, if he was, he should have taken it instead of being an ass and trying to think that he was going to get off.
Like, it's the arrogance for me, man.
But you look at his daddy and you see why he is the way he is. The daddy, you went in there, which I'm baffled. Unless you missed the first day of trial. But if you didn't, you heard all that evidence and you came here with your short man syndrome and pants that were too tight, with a shirt that was too tight, with your pot belly hanging out, with your two breasts to match, and acting like some fake ass preacher talking about how, our God does not lie. Oh my God, I call heaven, I call earth. God is I don't want to say God laughing at you, but somebody laughing at you.
God is quite serious looking at you.
Like, really?
His name in vain.
Yes.
Knowing that your son has done this, not keeping him accountable. God is not the author of chaos.
No.
Okay? He's the author. He will bring justice. All right? The fact that these were just... First of all,
and then you put out that tweet talking about how no weapon formed against me should prosper. I mean, the weapon was in your hand, brother.
Yeah.
They were in your hand.
It was in your hand.
Like, I don't understand how you literally had the balls to go and say all this stuff. And then you had your daddy come out there looking like some crazy dingbat on your behalf. But you act like you were in the trial. How do you think this man is innocent? And how do you say that this was the worst injustice that has ever happened in our generation?
You're calling the judge, you're calling the prosecution evil. Yelling in the courtroom, you have to be removed. All this nonsense.
I would not be surprised if the judge gives him 1 year just because of his daddy's outburst. Yeah. I would not be surprised. At least an extra year just because of that.
Well, because what it is, it shows a lack of accountability.
Even from his parents.
Exactly. And so what it shows is that even if I give this man 2.5 years, I don't think he will have learned his lesson. Because he had 2.5 years to make it right, and he did not. Instead, he had loose lips all over the place, was not humble, sat in his arrogance, okay, knowing you've done something wrong. You knew it was wrong. You knew you hurt her. You knew on top of that, she saved you that night. Because they would have lit your ass up, probably will be dead by now. Okay? If she had said that
by the 4th of July.
Especially in 2020, okay, 2020, after all the stuff that was going on, the protests and all that stuff, they would have been happy to light your ass up, okay?
Yep.
But she didn't. She said she stood on glass trying to cover for your tail, and no respect, no remorse, nothing. You didn't show any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing, I mean, just talking from a spiritual level, you know, when God removes his cover, he removes his cover. Yeah. What showed me that God removed his cover? When you brought up that defense, Sean Kelly, and he pointed the finger at your defendant.
And he was your own witness. That was hilarious.
The other thing was when Kelsey did not...
she pled the fifth.
Yeah, she
and they said, that's fine. We have your testimony from September.
Right, she kept on pleading the fifth since probably
she had amnesia.
Had already paid her off,
or
allegedly,
threatened her,
right?
or whatever, allegedly.
And now, all of a sudden, they needed to see her whole testimony, the whole transcript of her testimony that she gave in September. All of these things was God removing his covering from you.
Yeah,
okay,
buddy.
We're going to see how the sentence, what happens with the sentence. But if you know, Tory Lane's father continues on this breath, right now, instead of you trying to say you have, I don't know, prayer warriors around praying on your behalf.
And your fathers to many. You couldn't even father your own child.
Exactly.
You kicked him out at 14.
I know.
Let's talk about that. How are you a father to many?
You shocked your parental job.
I mean, how are you a father to many? You couldn't even father your own child. Now he's out here shooting black women.
You couldn't father him properly. You didn't do your job. You didn't parent him properly. You gave up on him at 14. And so now it is what it is. Now these are the ramifications that you have to deal with.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying there are times that, you have kids and, they're still going to make their mistakes and do some crazy stuff and things like that. But this is when you have to be accountable. I mean, what I'm hoping is that you change course and be like, okay, Tory, maybe it's time to, really give an apology or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just be honest.
Yeah.
But you can't even do that. So there's no remorse. And because there's no remorse, it's like you get what you get.
Yeah.
But this thing, it just blew my mind. It blew my mind because I didn't know what he had said. I just knew that there was a call.
Yeah.
That he had called Kelsey to apologize, but I didn't know what he said. I was so effing drunk. But that don't make my actions right.
Yes.
Who will call saying that?
I'm not calling saying that if I didn't do
your
anything
actions
wrong.
Right. It wasn't what I said right. That don't make my actions right. The actions of pulling her by her weave, to pulling her hair out of her scalp.
Personally, I don't understand why
beating her up, shooting Megan on the foot. Yeah. Okay? I've never done no shit like that. Okay? And just want to say sorry. I never would have done that shit like that if I wasn't past drunk. You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me? She don't feel you. Nothing.
My thing is, I don't know why Kelsey even bothered. This man had just assaulted you, almost pulled your hair out, had shot your friend. I would not be trying to get bail out for this man either.
But I'm happy.
I would have let him stay in there.
She took the call.
Oh yes, when God come behind
you.
The evidence was piling up.
Okay, because if not, she would not have picked it up. There would have not been any call for him to make.
Yes, there probably would have been no evidence either.
But now look at the evidence. When God removes his covering from you. And if there are people out here, they're just living their life, they don't really know about God, whatever, then I think sometimes, God is forgiving, because they don't really know me. They have not been taught about me.
But you were talking about God.
It seems as though you know about him. You're quoting the Bible. Your father is a preacher.
Is he?
Well, he said he's a pastor or whatever.
Who said that?
I don't know. But he sounds like one. He got prayer warriors around. I mean, obviously he got some kind of whatever. But the thing is, you know the book. You know the Bible.
Yeah.
You know God. Okay? And you still did wrong. And God actually covered you for 2.5 years. You have not been in jail for 2.5 years.
Yeah, and you used that to slaughter a black woman's name
when
you knew you was guilty.
Remember when God gave Pharaoh chances upon chances, okay? And Pharaoh continued to be arrogant. What happened? He ended up perishing at sea. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the same thing. God gave you 2.5 years. And you sat in your degeneracy. You sat in your arrogance. You sat in your deceit. You sat with your lack of remorse. And here we are. Yeah. And you've been found guilty.
Rightfully so. So I'm happy that you are where you belong.
What you all got to say?
Please just pick your mouth up off the floor and take the embarrassments that you have now taken upon yourself and just go somewhere. Go back to the hole where you came from. And think about why you thought that it's okay for you to defend somebody who would shoot a black sister. And why, and somebody put something in our comment sections which I thought was kind of profound, but also I just felt like it was really important for people to know. Okay. Because this is what she said. And let me shout her out. Her name is Motown Investor. And she is a loyal subscriber, so shout out to you, girl. But she said it's a shame that black men think that shooting a black woman, is not warranting of jail time.
Yeah.
At the same time, if a black man was shot, they expect everybody to be upset and marching in the streets. I just give up and tell all women to leave their dusty asses in the dust. But that's the thing. Like, the fact that there have been so many black men out here making excuses for him and are now like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Like, you did this. Like, they're just making excuses. And they're just like, no, he should not go to jail. Like, and then even some woman was out here talking about he's an Emmett Till. Like, it's sad.
Yeah.
And it's also disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Because this is somebody who went and shot your sister. Yeah. But because they are so used to putting black women down anyway, they're so desensitized. Yeah. And they just don't care.
With
she was shot.
No
ramifications.
No ramifications.
None.
What we have to do as black women, we have to start being like, anytime this is done, like, we have this total outcry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And when we start doing that, in addition to turning our backs on them and not going out there and protest when stuff happens to them, that's the only way you're going to kind of learn the lesson.
I remember when that man, he was sliced and diced by his white IG model girlfriend. A lot of black women just turned their heads away. Because this man was tweeting about black women. They're dirty, they're this, they are ugly, they are disgusting, they're aggressive, He was saying all this. The family came out like, just because he said this when he was in middle school. They were like,
high school. He was 17 at the time when he did that.
Yes, they were like, just because he said this in high school doesn't mean da-da-da. Well, the thing is, he was living with y'all. So where'd he get it from? So that was my thing. But I saw some black men like, man, well, I see why they can't stand with you. Because, look what you said. Like, even some black men were kind of like, oh, well, damn, they not come to his defense. No.
They didn't.
No. Really, and that's how we have to continue to be as black women.
Yeah.
It's not, let's be united with black men. We see where they've been at.
The rate of femicide in this country with black women, like, it's on the rise. And usually at the other end is a black man, and it's not just women, but it's also the children, the black children being killed. And on most of the time, at the other end, it's a black man.
How many stories have we seen in the news about a black man killing a black woman? We saw about the black man who shot his girlfriend in front of her kids 15 times in the back. Yeah. We saw the other one with the black man who had shot, I think he had murdered the girl's child and then slashed her. Like, there have been so many stories in the news about black men actually just being terrorists to black women and their kids.
Every day
it's something new.
And it's so sad because I came into this country in 1989, and it was a different time. You never would have heard a woman getting killed and it was by a black man.
No, people used to say that was
30 years later. Yeah, 30 years later, and then there were some crimes. So when you talk about slicing and dicing people, you're like, oh no,
that could never be a black man.
Like, but now it's just it is so awful. And I think one of the things that even started this trend, and we should talk about it later on more. I remember the movie, what was it, Jerry Maguire, and you had Cuba Gooding Jr. talking about, hey, when you're dealing with a single mom, a single mother is sacred, But what I have seen systemically going on, like,
they try to diminish it.
Black men in the, blogosphere world, in the YouTube world, these men have come out, like, really raging against single mothers. Don't talk about the fathers who left, but the single mothers. And they took something that was sacred in our community. Single black mothers were sacred, and that's how they were viewed, and they were protected. But they took that and they have been smearing it since. And now this is where we are. How is it going to be fixed? I don't know. But it certainly is not going to start with a black woman being forgiving anymore or speaking out on behalf of black men. It's not going to start there anymore. We have been there, done that. Yeah. And look at the results we have gotten. We have gotten men speaking out against us. And I only
they've been doing it for decades now. Like at least 50 years.
Well, it's been, because like I said, I came here in 1989. That's over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I only see it done in our community. In our community, where you can have a whole celebrity black man go out there speaking badly about black women. And then you also have the degenerate, the biracial ones as well, who have been allowed in our community, they're black men, and now speak out against, like Drake, having the nerve, the mouth, the tongue to speak out against Megan.
Stupid.
You know? But it goes back to you guys. It goes back to the black man. The black man continues to be disrespected by the biracial men, by any other race of men.
Oh, and by any other race of women as well.
Disrespectful. They continue to disrespect you. And why do they disrespect you? Because you don't hold up your community. It starts with you. There's no other race of men who are doing this nonsense. The black men do.
Well, also the biracial women, they disrespect you. The white women, they disrespect you because they don't respect you. They know why you're going over there, and it's not because you love them. They know that. They know it's something that's trivial as their skin color.
It's sad.
Or their DNA.
Yeah, it's sad.
And if you think they don't know that, then you might need to go seek some help.
It's sad when I see it because these people who are in their 20s and their early 30s, they didn't grow up, like they didn't come of age in that time that I'm talking about.
Yeah. And
so this is all they know. And it's just sad. It's just sad because this is not how it was. I mean, please, some Gen Xers, let me know. Like I'm not out here lying. This is not how it was. This was something that was sacred. And you guys came, pooped all over it, smeared it. And once you remove that covering from single mothers, because once you start,
me personally, I just feel like they already removed their cover. Like, yes, they were talking about how it was sacred to be a single mother. Well, they were the ones making single mothers. Hello.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were all up in your community making single mothers. I mean, I don't even want to get into it too much. Yeah. But I mean, they were making black women single mothers.
Yeah, they were. But it was something that was not touched. And what happens is, it's kind of like if you will insult your mom, you will insult anybody.
Yeah.
If you will, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's what has happened. So, hey, you all fix it. Because I don't think most black women are even daydreaming about fixing it for you. You wreck the community, you got to fix the community. Without any help from us.
Well,
any protesting from us.
At this point, I'm just happy that I have been seeing a lot of black women actually being open to love outside of their race. Yeah. And that's what I'm looking for. Just finding love. Like, just don't sit down here and wait for a black man to come to you. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. Yeah. Find love wherever it comes to you, no matter what shade it is. If it happens that you actually are able to find a good black man, that's fine. But don't be sitting out over there pining over it. I think that's degenerate in itself.
Yeah. Travel.
Travel.
Yeah. But that's just our 2 cents. I know we went off our little off cuff again, but hey,
that's
it was
what
necessary.
We do here.
Yes.
So welcome to the channel if you're new. But it is Mary
and Alma.
You guys to like,
subscribe,
share,
and comment
down below.